everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to build a PC. Finally, long time ago I haven't built a PC. I was really focused on using workstations like from Dell, from HP, from Lenovo, and all kind of pre-built actually machines, as I say, always in the direction of professional workstations. And I think the last computer that I built, it was like 2 years ago. I think it was in Corona times here in Germany. I used to have dual AMD Radeon 5700 XTs and Ryzen 3950X with 16 cores, and that was the last machine that I built. And after that, I went all in with workstations. But today I have something very special, because we're going to talk about something about using used components, like not new components, not at all new components. We're going to be focused on gathering some cheap components out from eBay here locally in Germany, which is called eBay Kleinanzeigen. And we're going to have something very special. But the main subject of this build is going to be, for me, the case. This is the fractal design knot, which I think looks beautiful. It's super pretty, and it just got released like 1 month ago, something like that. I got it actually back already like 3 weeks ago, but I had no components to build my PC. I just got the components today. Maybe you can see here the RTX 4000, which is going to be the main graphics processor of my build today. And actually, I think it looks so pretty, matching the colors in gold and black of the case. And let's just start. Let's jump in, and I will explain you how we are going to start actually to build this PC. We're going to start by making some space here at my table, because I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna show you now in a moment why. Let's put all these small components out of my main desk, and let's bring the main subject of today. So, this is how we are going to start. Hi everyone. So this is how we are going to start. I found this computer. This is a Shiftech computer, something like that. I will make some research for you. Probably it's a local brand here in Germany, and it looks like a server. And I think it was a server actually. And I just bought this computer locally. They just shipped them to me for 400 euros. 400 US dollars are approximately, and actually it was pretty cheap. I will let you know all the components that it has inside, and this old machine that someone just has no use for it anymore is going to be actually the skeleton that is going to be in my new case now. And that's how we are going to start. We're going to start disassembling this, extracting all the components that we require, that we still need, and put it back and transfer it to the new machine. So let's start. So this computer, when I bought it, or at least in the listing, it's supposed to have an Intel Core i7 7800X, which is an 8-core CPU, socket 2066. It's a little bit old, but it's still an 8-core CPU, and actually the mainboard is based in an Intel X299. So this is the machine. Actually, it's a huge machine. It's like really insane huge in comparison with the other one. And the components for 400 euros, you need to remember, is around 400 US dollars. I have a Be Quiet Dark Power Pro 1000 watt 80 plus platinum, which is an insane power supply. It's a little bit old, but it's really insane. And I have a Be Quiet cooler as well. I think it's going to be more than enough for this CPU actually for now. I have 64 gigabytes of DDR4 running at 2400 megahertz, I guess. I have an NVIDIA Quadro P400, and I hope you can see I have an Asus TUF X299, which is a really good motherboard with tons of PCI Express, M.2 support, USB-C front, a lot of SATA ports as well. And as you can see here, I have 4 2TB hard drive, which are already included in the machine. I have also 2 solid state drives here for a total of 1 terabyte in total. And I have as well the power supplies has really nice cables. The only thing that is missing are the cables of the power supply. The seller didn't have them, but that's what I already got here in Germany as well. These cables from Be Quiet, and they should be compatible. I hope they are compatible, because otherwise I have no way to power up my NVIDIA RTX A4000. But this is the machine, and I think makes, for $400 US, 1000 platinum power supply. The 7800X Intel Core i7, 64 gigs of RAM, an NVIDIA Quadro P400, which is already like maybe $80 US or something. The motherboard as well, the 4 2TB hard drives, which are in perfect condition, and everything looks pretty clean. The 2 solid state drives as well. I think this is just a great opportunity for a lot of you guys as well that are looking to maybe upgrade your machines, or maybe you are trying just to build something new that is future-proof. Something like that can make a lot of sense, because, for example, the X299 platform, it can be upgraded until the Intel Core 10th generation of Intel Core and Intel Core i7 and i9 CPUs with up to 18 cores. Maybe they are not the best, but at least here in Germany they are going pretty cheap. Hello again. So to start with the surgery, we need to be very patient. First of all, we need to be very patient. We need to pull out all the components that we actually require. I think we actually require almost everything, or at least not the hard drives, but at least the mainboard we need, and the power supply we need as well. So let's start by pulling out all the cables from the power supply. We need to disconnect all the motherboard cables that it has, which is going to be pretty interesting already, I can see. But let's try to not touch the motherboard as much as we can. You actually need to be very careful when pulling out the cables, because sometimes, for example, the SATA cables, they have a kind of secure mechanism, and if you try to pull them very hard and this secure lock is there, maybe sometimes you cannot see them, you may break the motherboard slot actually. Pretty cool actually. An NVIDIA Quadro P400. This is a great graphics card until today. Like really, I have already a review video of this for this year. Great graphics card for $400 US, everything. I mean, this is like a gift. When I saw this opportunity, I was like, I will buy it immediately, because it is a gift, and I was really in need to build my new PC. So I think that's all for the motherboard. So now it's coming out. Oh. So it came out. This is the main board. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. Let's put it apart and try to not break anything. And here we have all the cables. Probably we don't need this, but what we really need, guys, is the power supply. The power supplies and all the cables that it has. Of course, we need it for this guy. the company that sent the computer to him, it didn't send the rest of the cables, because actually this is money. I mean, I pay for the cables if they fit. I paid like €7 for each set of cables. If we are lucky, that is almost everything that we need so far. The hard drives, just going to leave them here for now. The solid state drives, I'm just going to leave them here as well for now. I don't need them. So let's put this giant case away and let's start with the new building. Here is the motherboard with the CPU and the memory RAM. Here is one graphics card, which we are not going to use, but I'm just going to show you the components that it had. And here is the power supply, 1000 watts power supply, which actually they are still pretty expensive, the 1000 watts power supply. To recap with the components, we have the Intel Core i7-7800X with 8 cores, 16 threads. The motherboard is the Asus TUF X299 Mark I. We have 64 gigabytes of RAM. We got the NVIDIA Quadro P400 and the 1000 watts Be Quiet Dark Power Pro. I don't know, maybe in United States this is not really, maybe it's not that much of a brand in United States, but here in Europe and especially here in Germany, it's a really famous brand, it's a really reliable brand, it's actually pretty good, it's 80 plus platinum, and at least here in Germany, I repeat, this can be very expensive. For the graphics card, we are not going to use actually the P400. For the graphics card, we are going to use actually the NVIDIA RTX A4000, which this is going to be the main graphics card for the build. So we had that. The 64 gigabytes of RAM, we're going to leave it there. We are going to maybe upgrade a little bit more of memory RAM, but later. And then for the secondary storage, we have PCI Express NVMe's, which I expect to work this maybe around like 10 gigabytes per second. But for main storage as well, I have two M.2 500 gigabytes, which I hope I can rate in 0 in the slots of the motherboard. But if don't, I mean 500 gigabytes for the operating system, and then 2 terabytes for my games and for my simulations are going to be in the PCI Express here. And I'm going to be using as well a backup, which is going to be the main mass storage of this computer with two 12 terabytes Western Digital Retinas are going to be the main storage or mass storage of my computer. I have as well for network, I'm going to build here in my room a 10 gigabit network, local area network, to transfer files from my laptop when I connect it as well to Ethernet to this machine. And I'm going to have as well a different and separate machine that is going to be dedicated only for simulations and my PhD purely to run simulations. This is going to be my main gaming device. This is going to be my main work device, PhD device, just entertainment, consumption of content. My video editing machine is going to be this one. I know that a lot of you, every one of you has actually your own technique to build PCs. But I don't have actually one. I built a lot of PCs in my whole life. I don't know, hundreds of PCs I built in my life since I am like 16 years old. And I don't follow actually like a protocol or rules or fix the name of it something. I just take my time. That's my actual procedure, is take my time. Of course, the mainboard and the power supply are the main things, because now you can have an idea of actually what is going to be everything in place. So let's just start with removing the panel here from this beautiful fractal design node. We'll just put it aside here. And let's start with the mainboard. Why I'm actually needing 1000 watts? Actually, first of all, because it was including the package in the workstation. And second, because I'm planning in the future to upgrade to multiple GPUs in order to accelerate my simulations for my PhD. And of course, the use of multiple GPUs requires more energy. But I was actually thinking maybe an NVIDIA RTX A5000 or the newest 4090. I don't know, I will take a look, but of course I do need require more power. So let's put the cables back inside. And now the power supply is there. So now let's put the motherboard in place. I don't need to repaste actually, I think the thermal paste, but first of all I'm just going to take care if it works, if everything works, and after that I will look to the temperatures, and if the temperatures are too high on idle and too high when loaded the CPU, then I'm going to apply a new thermal paste. But for now I will just leave it as it is and test if the system even works. That's actually the main important thing. Memory RAM I didn't need to install. Let's just take a look to the power supply cables. Four SATA cables, these four SATA cables. So I think I will use this one for the SSDs. I will use them later, the SSDs, not really now, but I will just cable it already for the future. So now we have the power supply cables are already attached to the motherboard, at least the main ones. We have the GPU cable for the Quadro, SATA cables for my hard drives, and SATA cables for the solid state drives that I will be using later as well in the back bracket of this case. So let's continue. Let's continue with the case cables. I hope everything is here working. That was for the case. I think now we can put the graphics card and test. No, what I'm doing, we still need the NVMe drives. Of course, we still need the NVMe drives. So let's take a look to the NVMe drives. I'm really excited for that. Okay, this is new. Probably the seller maybe didn't know that it has an M.2 drive installed here. So this is how it looks, the computer at the end. I'm just not going to close anything at all until now. I'm just going to try the system, test it if it works, if it boots up, because after that I still need to install the solid state drives, the SATA solid state drives. I still need to install my hard drives. I still need to install my NVMe boot drives. I still need to install the PCI cards like the NVMe array, and RAID array, like the 10 gigabit network. I do still have a lot of work to do, but let's try it if it works until now. So we see some likes on the machine. Let's try. And it works. It boots up. Perfect. Looks like everything is right also there. Oh, Linux is installed. Interesting, interesting. So guys, it looks like it's working. It has Linux Mint installed in this drive that I have no idea it was there. So Let's take a look to what it has. So we have the Intel Core i7 7800X CPU, perfect, 6 core, sorry, actually this is a 6 core CPU actually, but I mean I'm going to be changing as well this CPU. I am planning to upgrade to an Intel Core i9 10980XE with 18 cores. So for me this is perfect. I mean this is perfect for me actually. The 64 gigabytes of RAM are recognized, and the NVMe drive is actually a 256 gigabytes drive. So we are going to change it as well. But now that we know that everything is working, this is a huge recommendation that I'm going to give you. Test first your machine. Don't assemble everything. Don't pull the liquid cooler in there. Don't put everything together, hard drives, SSDs, NVMe drives, extra PCI Express cards, until you know that this system is working, because otherwise it's going to take you hours to put together your system. You are going to be very excited, and it's really a shame that at the end the system is not working. And this happens a lot, really, believe me, it happens a lot that the system does not boot. So try your system first with the most basic thing that you can really install in this, like an NVMe drive, like the main drive, just to check if it boots. You don't even need that. You just need actually the CPU, the memory RAM, maybe the graphics cards, of course, and all the power supply cables. And after that, when you know this is working, you can really now go really deep into your system configuration, exactly how you need it. But for me, this is working, so let's continue now with the build. What do we need to do? We need to change the NVMe drive to my main drive. We need to install actually the secondary NVMe drive. We need to install the PCI Express with the NVMe array. We need to install the PCI Express 10 gigabit network hack and my 2 hard drives, and probably with those maybe a little bit of cable management, and that should be it. That's the first one. That's the second one. And we're going to put back this. So that's a second one. With this NVMe, we don't need this. So let's install now the NVMe array PCI Express card. We have 2 terabytes again in this one. We need to unscrew one of this one. Which one? The third one? Yeah, probably the third one. At the end, booting a computer with such a complexity in the drives is always a little bit interesting, but I think we can make it. We are finished. Now let's close this panel and try to install everything. Finally, I'm done. I'm done with the computer. I installed everything. I installed the SSDs, the hard drives. I installed my NVMe's main boot drives. I installed all the PCI Express cards, the graphics cards. We already tried everything, and I am really looking forward to install now everything. So it looks like everything actually is working. Everything is recognized by Windows, at least the main components. Of course, we still need to install the drivers, so I'm just going to go download everything from the ASUS support, and it should be working. All the drives are recognized as well, at least the boot NVMe, the secondary NVMe is also recognized. The RAID array, I still need to install drivers and go to the BIOS and configure everything, but I will do that later. The main two hard drives are also recognized, the 12 terabytes hard drives. After installing all the Windows drivers, the chipset drivers, because it was missing a lot of devices, everything is working perfect. Temperatures of the graphics are around 30 to 35 degrees on idle. The CPU as well, 40 degrees on idle, and everything is working fine. The 4K 120 Hz with HDR support and 12-bit color is working perfectly out of the RTX A4000. The case just looks so good here, and I think it's much actually perfect. The whole ambient that we have here in the room, in the office at the department, and I think it's just much perfect. It's a pretty cool thing. And the nice thing about this is because I bought this another used computer on eBay here in Germany, I have actually a lot of devices still extra that I'm going to sell because I have no use for those things. And with all those things, I can even reduce the price of acquisition of the second-hand device. Of course, I already had my 12 terabytes hard drives, which is also quite expensive. I already have my NVIDIA RTX A4000, which is also expensive. And I already have a tons of components as well, like my NVMe drives. But the point actually of this PC build is, of course, first of all, getting something that I can again upgrade and is future-proof. And I have as well, I mean, not really a future-proof because of the X299 motherboards are already discontinued by Intel. But for my needs, for what do I do for my PhD, upgrading here to up to an 18-core CPU, 256 gigabytes of memory RAM. The nice thing that I have as well, the 2 gigabit LAN ports, my 10 gigabit network port as well, and I still have a lot of upgrades that I'm available to do to this, especially X299 motherboards. And the point actually of it is that even if they are old platforms, don't think that only the new platform are going to give you the best performance of everything. I do play games like really AAA games, but first person with adventure, like maybe something like Assassin's Creed, like Tomb Raider. I do play a lot. XCOM, for example, is not really demanding, but that's what I do. That's what I play. And for those needs, an 18-core i9 10980X that I can upgrade in the future is going to be more than enough. And besides that, even the gaming, I do have my small YouTube channel here with you guys, and I will edit my videos here in this machine with DaVinci Resolve at 4K. I will do some color correction, all these things. This computer can do everything. I mean, this computer, if you really put a little bit of research and time in order to get something that is really useful, these kind of old machines for 400 euros are going to give you a great experience because they are very powerful and they are still, you can put here more graphics cards. The 1000 watts power supply that I got for the price is going to be able to push a lot all those hardware, all that hardware that you are going to install in your computer. So for me, this 400 euros computer from eBay with such amazing components, and I invest, of course, a little bit in the case. This case was 150 euros, the fractal design node, but everything else I had laying around. Maybe you have as well some components already there, or maybe you already have a graphics card, or I don't know, but something old, like 4 years old, like these X299 series platforms, they are still pretty good, and they are still going to be supported for many years, and the CPUs are going to go down in prices, and all these things can really make sense for you guys. Don't really think that you need always the newest from the newest to get more FPS in games or to do your job. or maybe you are doing rendering and you are a graphics designer, you are a product designer, you are an engineer, you are a mechatronics student, you are a mechanical design engineer, you are a mechanical engineer student, or you are doing biochemistry or anything that really requires computation. A machine like this for 400 euros, I mean, you can imagine that if you already only spent the 400 euros on the computer, in this ugly case that I got, the computer should work. It was working with an NVIDIA Quadro P400 with 8 terabytes of hard drives, 500 gigabytes of SSDs, another 250 gigabytes of NVMe, 1000 power supply, 6 core, already cooler in there. I mean, the computer, just as I got it, it was perfect. It was excellent. Like really, an incredible machine. I just wanted to transfer this into my new PC build because the aesthetics is also a thing, something that if you care, you should take care of it. And having a nice case like this with these good accents, gold and black accents, it was really a requirement for this office, that it matched perfect, that doesn't disturb the ambient that we have here. And for me, that was the main reason actually from changing devices. Remember, 400 euros used computer. It's already everything built here, but take a look to everything that I still have and I'm not going to use. One hard drive, 2 terabytes. These are Dell Enterprise Constellation 2 terabyte hard drives. Perfect. Unbelievable performance. I have 2 of them. I have 3 of them. Not even that. I got 4 of them. I got an NVIDIA Quadro P400. You will not believe this. This is like around 80, 90 euros. Only the graphics card is like 80 euros, 90 euros. Excellent. 3 mini display ports with a 4K resolution. If you check my video, you can do still amazing things with the graphic card. I got the perfectly new, still unpacked 3 mini display port to display port adapter of the graphics cards. I got 2 SATA solid state drives, 256 gigabytes. I still have, wait. I still got a 256 gigabytes NVMe drive, which is actually pretty great, and all that stuff together with the things that are already inside this computer for 400 euros. So I think it makes a lot of sense for you guys. Take a look to these old platforms, for you to build yourself something. You don't need really to spend thousands of euros in the newest platforms. It makes sometimes no sense. I am a pretty big fan of the X299 platform. And there are some reasons why still huge companies like Dell, HP, and Lenovo, they still sell the best seller workstations in the whole world, in the whole market. They are still based on X299 platforms because they are very reliable, they are very powerful, and a lot of you guys, you don't require the newest platforms. And maybe you're a student, you are tightening your budget. Something like this is going to make an amazing job for you. Thank you very much guys for watching. I hope this video was not too long, but as I just mentioned, since years I haven't built a PC, as I just mentioned, since 2 years, and of course I know pretty well the stuff, of course I know the hardware and how is everything connected, but at least build yourself something that you really will take advantage of. Don't exaggerate with the things, try to be a little bit future proof, take a look to old platforms, and I wouldn't say savage, but try to use components that you already have. And I don't know, maybe you can find something pretty cheap as well in platforms like eBay, and you will have something like this. Thank you very much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, any comments, please just let me know. See you until the next time.